If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. Deshaun Watson's name has been swirling around the NFL ever since his blockbuster trade to the Cleveland Browns, but this offseason has brought a very different kind of attention. For the first time since his arrival, he's not at the center of the team's quarterback plans, not because of suspension or controversy, but because of injury. A torn Achilles ended his 2024 season early, and a setback during rehab has cast serious doubt on his ability to suit up in 2025. The Browns have moved forward with a competitive quarterback room, featuring for other players vying for the starting job. Watson, however, hasn't faded quietly into the background. Instead, he's embraced a leadership role, earning unexpected praise from teammates and insiders for his mentorship and presence even while sidelined in a league where pride and ego can dominate. Watson's commitment to the team despite personal setbacks is reshaping the narrative around him that it's not often you see a highly paid, once franchise quarterback willingly step into a support role, especially when the team that once bet big on him is already calling the deal a misfire. Browns owner Jimmy Haslam recently referred to the Watson trade as a big swing and miss, a brutally honest assessment that made headlines, and yet Deshaun Watson hasn't fired back, hasn't distanced himself, and hasn't checked out. Instead, he's been showing up to the team facility in Brea consistently, grinding away at his rehab while being a vocal and visible part of the quarterback room. Whether in team meetings or informal walkthroughs, Watson has been there not as the face of the franchise, but as the veteran presence quietly guiding the next generation. It's a far cry from the Watson we saw dominate the field in Houston, but perhaps just as valuable for a Browns team trying to find stability. The buzz around Cleveland's quarterback competition has dominated local sports talk, and yet Deshaun's name is conspicuously absent when analysts discuss the opening day starter. That's not a slight, it's a reality rooted in injury. The Browns are preparing for life without Watson this season and possibly beyond. But what's become clear is that he's still part of the DNA of the team, just in a different way. According to Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com, Watson has been lauded for his contributions off the field, especially in quarterback meetings where his voice still carries weight. It's a shift in role but not in relevance, in a high-stakes QB room filled with young, hungry players trying to seize the spotlight. Watson's calm and experienced approach has added a different kind of value, one not easily measured in stats or snap counts. One of the most vocal supporters of Watson's behind-the-scenes contributions is rookie quarterback Dillon Gabriel, the Browns' third-round pick. For a young quarterback making the difficult leap from college to the NFL, having someone like Watson in the room isn't just helpful, it's invaluable. Gabriel noted that he sits next to Deshaun in meetings and regularly leans on him for guidance, insight, and confirmation when digesting complex offensive concepts. It's a mentorship role that Watson appears to have embraced fully, sharing not just football IQ, but also offering perspective on situational awareness, play design, and even red zone tendencies. For Gabriel and the rest of the young quarterbacks in the room, Watson isn't just a name on the roster, he's become a walking, talking resource. It's a dynamic that might seem awkward from the outside. After all, Watson was brought in to be the guy, the cornerstone, the long-term answer. Watching for other quarterbacks compete for a job that was once his could have bred resentment. But those close to the team say Watson's attitude has been anything but toxic. He's shown up, he's stayed engaged, and he's helped others elevate their game. That's not to say everything is sunshine and roses. Watson undoubtedly wants to play again, and the fire to compete surely still burns. But there's a maturity in how he's handled this chapter of his career, a sign that he's more interested in building something lasting. Even if his own path in Cleveland seems increasingly uncertain, Watson's physical recovery remains a major question mark. Mary Kay Cabot reports that there's some optimism about a potential return to practice by October, roughly 9 months post-surgery. But she also makes it clear that the likelihood of him actually playing meaningful snaps in 2025 is extremely slim. The organization isn't rushing him back, and considering the severity of the injury and the financial commitment still tied to his name, caution reigns supreme. It's not impossible that Watson could see the field again, but everything has to go just right: his rehab, the readiness of the team, and a series of unfortunate events for the other QBs ahead of him. In short, don't expect to see number for under center anytime soon. So where does this leave the Browns and Deshaun Watson? It's a bizarre middle ground. The team is publicly acknowledging that the trade didn't pan out, even as they continue to pay him like a franchise savior. Meanwhile, Watson is acting like the consummate professional, rehabbing with intensity, mentoring his potential replacements, and staying involved in the day-to-day grind of NFL life. It's not the ending either party envisioned, but it's not entirely without value. Watson may never justify his historic contract on the field again, but if he helps usher in the next great Browns quarterback through his knowledge and presence, that has to count for something, of course. Not everyone in Cleveland is ready to rewrite Watson's legacy. There's still frustration, disappointment, and no shortage of skepticism. Many fans view his time with the Browns as a cautionary tale, and even his most sincere efforts to contribute off the field won't completely change that narrative. But within the walls of the Browns facility, Watson's reputation is evolving. Players respect him, coaches appreciate his insight, and young quarterbacks are benefiting from his experience. It's not redemption in the traditional sense, but it's a kind of professional grace, one that speaks to character, resilience, and a willingness to contribute, even when the spotlight has moved on. In the end, Deshaun Watson's story in Cleveland might never match the hype and expectations that surrounded his arrival. The injuries, the inconsistency, and the context of his contract have made sure of that. But his commitment this offseason, his mentorship, and his refusal to disengage from the team offer a glimpse of a man still trying to make good in whatever way he can. Whether or not he plays again, Watson is leaving an imprint on the next generation of Browns quarterbacks. And while that might not make highlight reels or change opinions overnight, it's a testament to the quiet kind of leadership that can shape a locker room, even when the game itself is on pause. As the 2025 season approaches, the Browns will forge ahead with a new face under center, leaving Watson in a limbo between past and future. Yet, as strange as it might seem, his presence still matters. He may not throw another touchdown in a Browns jersey, but his role in the quarterback room could help the next man succeed. In a league that's all about what you've done lately, Deshaun Watson is rewriting his contribution not in yards or touchdowns, but in guidance and support, and that, in its own way, is a win no one saw coming. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. The Cleveland Browns, a team that's been trying to claw its way out of NFL mediocrity for years, may have just hit another iceberg, and this one could split the ship wide open. Word around the league is that things are far from calm inside the Browns locker room, and at the center of the storm, none other than Myles Garrett and Deshaun Watson. Now, I want to be clear, nothing has been confirmed officially, but sources close to the situation suggest that Myles Garrett, the team's defensive cornerstone, has told people behind closed doors that he no longer wants to share the field with quarterback Deshaun Watson. That's not just smoke, that's a five-alarm fire in Cleveland. When your franchise pass rusher, your leader on defense, draws a line in the sand, people start listening. And if there's truth to this, the Browns may be facing a crisis bigger than anything they've dealt with in decades. Let's rewind the tape a little bit. Deshaun Watson's arrival in Cleveland was already controversial. From the massive contract to $130 million fully guaranteed to the off-the-field legal baggage, his signing divided fans, shocked analysts, and even drew criticism from within the league. Yet the Browns front office believed he was the missing piece, the elite quarterback who could elevate the team. They paid top dollar to get him. But here's the thing, leadership can't be bought, and trust can't be forced. And that's where things may have started to fracture. Watson's time in Cleveland has been plagued by injuries, inconsistency, and what many see as a lack of chemistry with the rest of the team. Add that to whispers of a locker room that's never fully bought into him, and the picture starts to look a lot less promising. Myles Garrett stepping forward allegedly could be the result of months, maybe even years, of unresolved tension. Now, we're hearing that Garrett has gone as far as to say that Watson is hated by several players in the locker room. That word, hated, isn't just strong, it's explosive. In the NFL, it's rare for players to go public, or even semi-public, with these kinds of sentiments. Brotherhood, unity, and team-first mentality are preached in every locker room. So for a star like Garrett to express that level of animosity, that signals something has gone very wrong. Behind the scenes, think about it, Garrett isn't just another player. He's a leader, a captain, a tone setter. If he feels that way, what are the younger players thinking? What are the veterans whispering to each other when the cameras aren't rolling? You have to imagine the locker room right now isn't just divided, it's fractured, and the coaching staff might be scrambling to keep a lid on what could become a very public implosion. It's important to understand what kind of player Myles Garrett is, both on and off the field. He's not a drama magnet. He doesn't go looking for headlines, if anything. He's been a model of consistency and professionalism since entering the league. That's what makes this rumor so jarring. It's not coming from some anonymous source on the practice squad. This is the face of the defense. A perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Potentially drawing a line in the sand against the man the front office sold the farm for, and don't forget Garrett's voice carries weight. If he's truly lost confidence in Watson as a teammate, that's going to resonate across every position group. The Browns aren't just dealing with a possible locker room rift. They're dealing with a power struggle, one that could cost them the season, or even their future. From what's being whispered behind closed doors, this tension didn't just appear overnight. There have been signs: missed handshakes, cold interactions on the sidelines, and a lack of chemistry in press conferences. Some reports even suggest Garrett and Watson haven't spoken directly in weeks, outside of required meetings. Body language experts would have a field day watching footage from Browns games this past season. And fans are starting to notice too. Reddit threads, X posts, and sports radio callers have picked up on what feels like passive-aggressive tension. Every time the two stars are shown on screen, in a league that thrives on cohesion and trust, especially between offense and defense, this kind of Cold War can destroy morale. And the longer it simmers, the more likely it is to boil over publicly. The question is, why now? Why is this all coming to light as we head into one of the most pivotal seasons for Cleveland in a decade? Well, timing is everything. Training camp is right around the corner. This is when leaders emerge, when chemistry is built, and when fractures, if left untreated, turn into season-defining issues. If Garrett truly refuses to play alongside Watson, the Browns are in an impossible position. Do you back your quarterback, the guy you handed $130 million to? Or do you side with your defensive cornerstone, the heart of your team? It's a lose-lose situation. And let's not forget, this team is built to win now. They have one of the most talented rosters in the AFC, but talent alone doesn't win championships, culture does. And right now, that culture might be rotting from the inside out. The Browns front office is likely in full damage control mode, trying to keep this story from becoming national news. But in today's world, nothing stays hidden for long, especially not in a football-crazed town like Cleveland. There's also the fan perspective. Cleveland has been loyal to a fault. They've endured heartbreak, coaching changes, and quarterback turnstiles for years. When Watson was signed, many fans gave him the benefit of the doubt, some reluctantly, others hopefully. But now, with murmurs of internal chaos, even the most faithful fans are questioning if the gamble was worth it. Social media is buzzing with takes, many calling for the Browns to move on from Watson despite his contract. And if Garrett, a beloved figure in the community, starts distancing himself even subtly, the fan base might follow. You can already see the tide turning, jersey sales dropping, booing during games, and local media beginning to turn up the heat. It's no longer just a locker room issue, it's a brand issue, a fan trust issue. And once you lose the fans, especially in a city like Cleveland, it's almost impossible to get them back. Let's not underestimate the NFL's ability to spin narratives either. If this Garrett-Watson situation gets legs, it becomes the story of the offseason. Talk shows will debate it, insiders will speculate, and players, both current and former, will weigh in. Suddenly, your training camp isn't about installing a new offensive scheme or preparing for week one. It's about fielding questions from reporters, dodging controversy, and managing egos. Distraction becomes your main opponent, and the worst part, opposing teams will sense the dysfunction and use it to their advantage. Players talk, coaches talk, and in a sport where mental edge matters, the Browns could be walking into every game carrying emotional baggage they just can't shake. It's a spiral, and unless something changes fast, it may only get worse. Now, some might say this is all overblown, that it's just preseason drama or media sensationalism. But smoke doesn't rise without fire, especially in a league as tight-knit as the NFL. For Garrett to be named in this kind of speculation is not normal, and for Watson to be described as hated by teammates, that's something no PR team can spin into a positive. If this is true, it could lead to trades, coaching changes, or even the dreaded locker room reset. The Browns are running out of time to figure it out. The longer they wait, the more damage this rumor will do. And if either Garrett or Watson takes this into the season unresolved, the locker room won't just be divided, it'll be broken. And broken teams don't win in this league, period. So what happens now? That's the million-dollar question, or rather, the $230 million one. Will the Browns confront this head-on? Or try to sweep it under the rug like so many teams have before? Will Garrett speak publicly, deny the rumors, and try to patch things up? Or will we see the beginning of the end for this iteration of the Browns? Because let's be real, this isn't just about the players. It's about identity. It's about leadership. And it's about whether the Browns can finally rise above the chaos, or if they're destined to implode yet again. Just when things were starting to look up, one thing's for sure: everyone will be watching. And if this rumor keeps growing, Cleveland might just find itself in the middle of the NFL's biggest offseason drama yet. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!